Okay, so today I'm going to be testing out or trying on a couple of the different fursuits I've been working on, or one of them's actually been finished. I'm doing these for examples and because I need to show them to a couple of individuals in particular. The first one I'm going to try on is a tiger partial that I have done as a pre-made. Okay, you can see the spine. I wasn't sure if the glare was too bad. This has a few minor issues. The fur I used, it was a nice soft fur. You can feel that very well in the muzzle, but it was also very thin. So where I did use glue to get the fur to lay flat on the head, it ended up coming through in a couple of areas, and it kind of made a hard texture there and on the ears. The rest of it's still pretty soft, though, brushing the back of the neck, the muzzle, around the eyes. That's very nice, but the head and around this area are a little bit ratty. This is a partial I have currently on FurBuy for $75. The original asking price was going to be $150, but because of the flaws, I decided I was going to lower the price. I'm going to try this on. It's also a slip-on head. I don't typically do this, but because of the nature of this fur, it has a slight stretch to it, so it works just fine in that matter. So put this on. This does fit my glasses in there. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, and there is the risk of them fogging up, but they do fit. Provided they don't snag. Jesus, one second. There we go. Nice and steady. Yeah, I don't recommend using glasses in this, mostly because of the fogging, but also because they can snag like they did at first. But they do fit once you're in here. It's nice and roomy. It is a static jaw. It's not even open, really. Originally, it was intended to be a open mouth static jaw, but it didn't really look right, so I closed it right around the time I started furring. Let's see if I can. I don't know. This partial comes with a tail. Actually, I should have the tail out here. But I have a couple pictures. It's about 2.5, 3 feet long. Has a slight curve to it. The whiskers here are from Dream Vision Creations. Whiskers on both sides. It's a plush nose. Semi-follow-me eyes. They're a little bit off because they didn't have a distinct incline here. But they do work from an angle. Let me see if I can. This was made out of some leftover supplies from one of my old suits. So I think this is backed up around here. There we go. Okay. Yeah. This suit was well made, but because of the fabric, it was a little bit damaged, like I said. Right, there it is. Right here. There we go. Ears are the one thing I wish turned out better. I might actually refur those and reattempt that. Maybe I'll go over it. Or just remove the fur altogether. Try to get rid of that nasty glue. But yeah. So, to move it off, you want to grab not here at the ears themselves, but around the base. There's a nice thick part there where the balaclava attaches. Oof. Okay, now let me see if I can show you the back. Okay. Now these are hand-painted markings. They weren't airbrushed, but there is a slight texture change. I wouldn't say it's that big of a deal when you add paint or ink or different methods for airbrushing or markings. It typically will somewhat affect the texture of the fur, but it's really not that noticeable unless you're thinking about it. So the markings on his back. This suit is currently named Titan, but whoever buys, or if my trade goes through, of course you can rename it. This also comes with a character badge after buyer chooses with the new name. There you go. Show the top of the head. And the inside. Try not to bend those whiskers. The whiskers are pretty sturdy, but I don't want to knock it around too much or I'll end up bending them. Let's see if I can angle that to the sun maybe. It's kind of hard to see the inside. Mostly what you're going to see is the balaclava. There is some slight area I can kind of illustrate that right around the eyes, the muzzle, where you'll see some exposure foam. If you are sensitive to feeling of foam, like some people get an irritation, I would recommend wearing another balaclava underneath it, or maybe even a bit of lycra or cotton padding would fix that up. But overall, it's really not that noticeable because there's a nice gap in the front of the face where my glasses fit in. So there's this one. Over here, this guy actually stands up pretty well on his own. I don't really have to get out the. Oh, my manicure so out of time. Second one is an incomplete suit. I'm using this as an example for a possible trade I'm going to be in. This is my newest suit. I'll be working on her some more tonight. Looks a little bit crooked right now because there's more of this black here, but I mean, this might get a bit closer to normal. And this way. This black has to be trimmed off here. It's kind of flapping open. The black is basically for gums, and so after it's all furred, you're not really going to see any of this. Eyes is the same thing. You're probably only going to see like the internal portion here, maybe a little bit higher on the upper brow. This one, this is probably going to end up being a zipper head. Because like I said, I'm not that used to the whole slip-on thing. It doesn't really, it's not something I'd probably do again. Fix that. Make sure everything's elastic's all set. This one does have a moving jaw. I think that's gone correctly. It's a little bit hard to get in place when you can't see. The fabric's still in the way. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good movement. It's not completely articulate, but it does open a little bit when I talk. But if I wanted to actually bite something, I could, let's see. You know, it's going to end up having floppy ears. The pair I'm using right here is actually from a German Shepherd partial I was working on, but I'm working more on this right now, so I'll just remake a pair of ears. But this is going to be trimmed off the very tip, and the fabric's going to bend it down. So most likely she's not even going to have pointy ears. Go up to where my thumb is here. No teeth in her currently, no tongue. Me being awkward. Trying to get a good judgment of the movement of the eyes and the jaw. The follow me eyes are a little bit better on this. And, ooh, there is one more thing. This is the same thing I do all the time because I'm going to show you the tiger partial and the one right here. I have a bit of elastic right underneath. You can't really see it because there's foam over it now, but maybe if I bring it up. No, I can't really see it. But I have a bit of elastic right at the top of my head here. Not this piece in front. And that's kind of what secures it down. With the glue and the foam, you kind of put your fingers under the base of the ears when you pull it off. It'll be a lot easier on this one because, like I said, it's going to have a zipper. The other one is more important than that, though. There isn't actually any elastic, but I do have a strong base there. I use the same for all of my suits now. Main thing, and I mentioned this on my DeviantArt last night, I'm trying to work in some different vents. The ones on the eyes aren't complete yet, but I'm going to show you those in a second. But I'm going to show you the one on the jaw. Okay. And this is going to stay like it even after furring. It shouldn't really be noticeable. But the jaw right now, if I were to just open it, it can extend all the way down. Because it doesn't have anything kind of holding it up there as far as fur. It's probably going to only open about that wide without me tugging on it after it's all done. But right here, let's see where that is. This part here that ends with the balaclava and the foam begins, it's going to have a little vent coming in through here. I was trying to practice some things with the structure while I was making this, and I was doing some research on different headgear. I think I'm going to try to incorporate more breathability into my suits from now on, because they do have a bad habit of getting stuffy, especially foam ones. And the second vent, which like I said before, hasn't been placed in. Let's kind of see more here. It's along this line. The eyes. Okay, right there it is. Right there. It's underneath the black, not here, the big part, but right in the corner. There's going to be another vent coming in there. So it's going to kind of vent out the side of the head. And it's not really going to fix everything 100%, but it should try to make air circulation a little bit better. That is all I have so far, although I suppose I can show you the fur that's going to be used. I just got a couple different colors. I had some more of this before, but I ended up using it in a trade, actually. So this is part of the color I'm going to be using on her. Yellow. These are all distinctive fabric furs. Yeah, for short. Got a darker navy blue here. And this is, pardon me, a bit more of this one. Have a nice kind of a royal blue. It's very soft to the touch, very nice. Something I wish I could have incorporated more on the tiger partial. It isn't as soft, sadly. The top of the head does have the same exact fur that I'm using here, only in black. So that's very nice and soft. But the rest of it, it has a nice, I'd almost say maybe velvety in some areas. But I wouldn't use this type of fur again. It wasn't something I had really planned on using to make a full head, but I had enough of it left, and I thought I'd give it a try, just to get some practice in. And it turned out alright, but this is actually fur, I can't remember the name of it, but it came from Joann Fabrics, and every once in a while you can get some okay things from there, but this was not as good a quality as I'd have liked. But it's still, I think the suit turned out really well overall, which is the only reason I'm selling it. But there is that issue with it. The rest of it turned out just fine. But, yeah. This was actually a sample swatch I got back. Just enough I thought I'd add in the mohawk for some detail. But yeah, those are the two suits I'm working on right now. I also have a resin-based head that's downstairs. One of Dream Vision Creations' large canine resin bases. But I haven't started furring him yet, so there's really no point in me showing him. Alright, so that's it for the video. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, you can leave them in the comments section below, and I will try to get to them. I'm not very active on YouTube these days. I'm mostly on Fur Affinity and DeviantArt. I don't really think there's anything else. Okay, bye.